Florida is now the latest state to pass a near total ban on abortions in the state. Republican Governor Ron DeSantis signed the bill into law earlier this morning, and Florida now joins a growing list of states making similar moves, including Kentucky and Oklahoma, both passing new abortion restrictions within the last few days. But activists are already vowing to challenge these laws. ABC News contributor and managing partner at the Cochran firm, Shauna Lloyd, is here with the legal implications in all of this. Shauna, thank you. I want to start with this Oklahoma ban. Governor Kevin Stitt signed the bill into law on Tuesday, and it makes it a felony to perform an abortion, punishable by up to 10 years in prison, with exceptions only when needed to save the life of the mother. Given Roe v. Wade, can this law stand up in court?
It depends on the grounds on which it's challenged. It could possibly pass the court muster, or it may not. And let's remember, we don't have a federal codified law that's going to override this. So right now it is at states' discretions if they are not struck down by the state Supreme Courts.
Now, Oklahoma lawmakers passed a bill last year to prevent women from ordering abortion medication online, but that measure was blocked by the Oklahoma Supreme Court. So what are the legal differences with this new law?
The legal differences with this law is that they are criminalizing the actual performing of the abortion itself. So the women would not be charged, but the provider and the person performing the abortion would be charged with a criminal act. And it comes with a penalty and jail time.
Now, Kentucky also suspended legal abortion access yesterday, effective immediately after the legislature overturned a veto by the governor. Abortion rights advocacy groups have already filed today asking a judge to block that law from taking effect while the case is litigated. So how do you expect that to play out, at least in the short run?
Typically, what's going to happen is when a judge does block it, what's going to happen is this law can't actually take effect because they want the case to be heard. They want a legal precedence to be set before anyone is brought under any sort of charges or anything is brought against the law. So that's what that does. It kind of puts it on pause until the litigation is complete, so we know what is actually, in fact, going to be law going forward once the case is decided.
And how likely is it, do you think, that a judge decides to step in and block this for now?
I think it's highly likely. It's always hard to predict the court, but what we've seen is that typically they have been blocked. I think that what we see is a lot of people are looking towards the federal system to look and say, hey, we need to codify something at a federal level and not leave it to states. But we also have a large group that are saying that these are states' rights and that this is something that the state should be allowed to make a determination for their personal citizens.
Now, as states like Oklahoma, Florida, Kentucky, and more pass these kind of restrictive laws, there are other states also working to become, quote, safe havens. Like Massachusetts, for example, passed a so-called Roe Act, which declares that the state can't interfere with a person's personal decision to get an abortion and allows the procedure after 24 weeks when deemed necessary by a doctor. It also lowers the age of consent from 18 to 16. If that goes into effect, what does this mean for women in terms of legal repercussions if they try to go to a state like that to get an abortion?
Typically, once you are going to these safe haven states, and we do see states that are codifying a woman's right to make that choice and to elect to have an abortion. We also see states that are trying to codify the fact that it is not legal in that particular state. Now, when you are going across state lines to have these things performed, you still are having it done in that particular state. The act in which it takes place is that law is going to apply. And that applies to more court cases. So you'll see a lot more people trying to get to other states, which is what Oklahoma was trying to prevent, because when Texas passed its abortion laws, a lot of women were crossing state lines into Oklahoma. And this is part of what they thought they were addressing by codifying this particular law.
So what does this all mean for the future of Roe versus Wade?
I think that this is really, it's coming up again before the Supreme Court in the summer. I think what we're going to see is whether or not the court is going to rule on it. We have Congress that still has the ability to codify an overarching federal laws about abortion. That may come into play. And then I think you'll see a domino effect. If you see the Congress codify, then you're going to see states either go along with that or enact their own laws if there is no federal legislation that's enacted.
All right, Shauna Lloyd, always great to have your analysis. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.